Welcome back, everyone. I'm Bill Georgopoulos, the host of the AMFisH fishing vlog. Beautiful fall day up here in Canada, and I've come out to do a little muskie fishing. And I'm taking an opportunity now that it's later evening here that I'm actually enjoying some calm water, very few boats out here, which has been great. And I got onto some fish earlier, so I'm taking an opportunity to do some videos. And this one's pertaining to how to Texas rig a bait properly. I've had some requests via email in my blog, messages from people inquiring how do you rig a bait properly. So I'm just going to take a larger bait here, 12-inch worm. As you can see next to my arm, it's pretty long, and this is what a Texas rig hook looks like. I've got a red one there, see that curved area where I'm actually holding it, and I've just got a standard hook there as well, so you can see that curved area. They come in different sizes: 3/0, 4/0, 5/0, 6/0, 7/0, and that just means the length of them. They come in, this here is a wide gap hook, this is a narrower hook, so hopefully you can put them side by side. As you can see, it's just a wider gap style hook than the red. But when it comes to Texas rigging, quick little easy tips that I use, and I've got something here I wanted to show as well. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, very simple. You'll take your hook, put it into the very first bend in the hook, which is right there. You're going to pop your actual barb out and push the rest of the hook down. When you get to this area here, this curved part, do it all in one shot if I can. You want that curved part sitting like that. So there's the eye of the hook where you're going to tie your line, and that's your Texas rig there. It's not complete. At this point you need to put this in here to make it weedless. So a common mistake a lot of people do is see where that hook point is sitting right now. They'll try and stick it in there and then pull this worm and say, okay, oh yeah, I've got it Texas rigged, and it sits like that. So it may look straight, but if you see here, I'm putting a lot of pressure to actually move that. It's got a lot of tension on it. So what ends up happening is it'll either come off the hook or it'll start to curl like it is right now because of that tension. So what you're going to want to do is, I usually go about an inch or so, half an inch to an inch below, and push that bait up and then feed my hook through. So this is called backing up your bait. Now that I've done that, let me do it one more time because it didn't actually go through where I wanted it to go through. Now that I've done that, and I'll make it weedless like I normally do. Fortunately, I'm dealing with limited light conditions here, so I'm trying to get this perfect. You get a bait that starts to look straight. Now you'll see here, this is a lot easier to move, a lot more pliable, because I've given it that time and that extra little space in there to make it move freely, so it's not so tight on the hook, and this won't pop off. This won't start to do this. It's just not going to happen. But if I rig it incorrectly, without backing it up, so again, just going to this point here, I'm actually now pulling and forcing that stretched tight. So as its natural state, this is going to pull on itself and pull, and there goes the hook. It's going to pop out. So it doesn't matter if you're rigging a creature bait or a large worm or a small worm. Just take that time to do it correctly. I'm going to try and demonstrate it on a black worm here. I've just got a black worm as well. It's a 5-inch worm. I'm going to use a 4/0 hook on this one. Again, right through. This is a thinner profile worm, but you go right through to that first curve in the hook. Pop your barb out and push it straight in. Once you get to this part, it's not so tricky. You just flip that worm around. And this worm's not going to work, so I'm going to grab another one. It's a little chewed up at the tip, and it's not doing exactly what I want to do. So let's try that one more time. Take that hook, put it through the nose of the bait, dead center, push down to the bend. Push it out, there goes that barb, push the rest of the hook in. That's what I was trying to get done. So you'll end up with your eye there that's exposed to tie your line to. And again, backing this up to give it that clean, straight look that we're all looking for. Straight bait does result in a lot more fish being caught. But there you go. I'm not going to have a lot of play in here, too much play. It's just giving you a nice straight look on that worm once you hook it up. If I hook this one incorrectly, which would be up here somewhere, I may actually rip this, but there you can actually see how tight that worm is. It's so tight, it's not sitting right. Everything just goes off kilter there. Take the time to rig them properly. You're going to want your bait to be sitting straight when you've cast it and it's sitting off the bottom. It's one of those important things. And if you're struggling with it, I used to do this when I was younger. If you're trying to think, okay, where do I normally put that hook in here? I think it was here. I think it was... You can do what I do. This happens to be a ribbed worm, and hopefully I'm getting that on camera, which it looks like. You can count the pieces of that worm. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Say you normally, your hook is dangling in a natural state at the hump 7, for example. You can go down 2 more humps to hump 9 and back it up and rig it through. If you can't remember that, because sometimes when you're out here, depending on how often you fish, you can't remember, darn, I don't know if it was the 3rd hump or the 5th hump that I had it. Just take, I've got a highlighter here, a pink highlighter. Let's see if I can do this here. So, see that, there's my actual hook, the way it's sitting in its natural state. So that's the wrong spot to actually hook it up. I want to hook it up somewhere down here. So what you can do is, and I will not be able to get this on camera. It's not going to work for me because of the light. But I'll make a little dot, whether you got a black Sharpie or black marker, it doesn't matter. Make a dot down there, and then you'll back your bait up and put it through the hook into that dotted area. So this is just a little guide. You don't have to do that. It was helpful for me, especially if I'd be out fishing Texas rig baits, 3, 4, 5 different baits a day, and I'm going through a package of them a day. I found it easier just to put a little dot there, and I actually knew where the point of the hook was going in. That's the key part. You're going to want to put the hook lower than it actually sits when you first put that first part in on that Texas rig. And again, it's going to be the same whether it's a smaller worm or a larger worm. You're just going to want to accommodate that hook size. If you notice the fish are striking really short, you may want to go to a 5/0 hook, which is the larger hook, the red one I was displaying. But I've rigged this, worm, 12-inch worm, on a 4/0 hook, on a 3/0 hook once, and back in the day, and I still caught fish. So at the end of the day, it's how it's rigged and how it's sitting completely straight on your hook that's going to result in catching fish. But that's a Texas rig, everyone. It's a great slow presentation for bass. You can get out here and just cast them out like that, flip them under structure, and they're fantastic. But that's how you actually rig it. Take the time to learn how to do it properly and do it slowly. And again, if you need that guide, just take that Sharpie and put your little points. You can probably even prep a few worms if you want as you have them in your package. Count down how many humps that first dot you put on is, and put a dot on every one of those humps in that package. And then when you're rigging it, you know that you've got to put that hook when you turn it around right through that dot. And it's just, again, it's just a little guide for you. So I hope you found this tip helpful. I'm going to get back to some early evening, late evening. We're approaching late evening, and I don't know if you can see the sky behind me, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to see if I can get a little look at this. It's absolutely beautiful out here, and this is why I came out today. It's a little bit cooling off right now, but I hope you found these tips helpful, and I will see you in my next video blogs.